Hi everyone, today we're going to begin talking about life on Earth. If you should need to get a hold of me, as always, the best way to get a hold of me is my email address, and that's posted on the screen for you. So here we are on Earth. We know that we're part of a much larger structure called a galaxy, and our Milky Way galaxy is home to billions upon billions of stars. And if we think about all those billions of stars, around many of those stars, there are planets, solar systems like our own. So scientists currently estimate that there are around 50 billion planets in our solar system. So 50 billion would be 50 with 9 zeros after it. So that's a lot of planets. And yet, yet, this tiny rock, Earth, is the only place that we know for sure that life exists in the entire universe. But when we look at Earth, we find that life exists almost everywhere. It completely blankets the surface. We find it in the ocean, we find it in the high mountains, we find it in deserts, we find it in the most extreme environments, places that would seem to be too harsh or really inhospitable. But life is everywhere here, but we have no evidence of life anywhere else. So, really, I want us to begin thinking about is Earth special? Are we alone in the universe? So, there is a hypothesis that Earth may be completely unique. Some scientists actually think that Earth could be the only planet in the entire universe that has any life. Now, this is a big and interesting question. Uh, these scientists think that the conditions that we have here are extremely rare, and that's one of the things that we're going to be looking at over the next few days is what is it that might make Earth special? So this idea is called the rare Earth hypothesis. And really, that's it. A rare Earth hypothesis just means Earth is unique in its ability to support life, that there may not be intelligent life anywhere else. Essentially, we are alone in the universe. A word that we need to be able to use is the word habitable. And really, the word habitable means able to support life. So you may hear me talking about a habitable zone. You may hear me talking about a habitable planet. When you hear the word habitable, I want you to know that habitable just means the ability to support life. Now, you may have ran into the word uninhabitable or uninhabited before. Uninhabitable means a place that cannot support life. So scientists believe that the other planets and many other places in our own solar system cannot support life. When we look at life on Earth, we find that almost every living thing, all life on Earth, shares some really basic needs. So living things on Earth need some things to survive, and I would say the top priority for living things on Earth is liquid water. Scientists believe this may be the most important substance that would help life to thrive and evolve. The second thing that all life here on Earth needs is a source of energy. And in some ways, it's okay to think of a source of energy as just being food or nourishment. So, that energy is then used, well, for life processes. And I know that you guys talked about some of those life processes in fifth grade. Something else that all life on Earth needs is air. More specifically, we need oxygen. Oxygen allows us to take that energy that's in the food that is consumed and to break it down and use it for something else. And the final thing that life on Earth needs is we really need a nice moderate temperature. It can't be extremely hot, it can't be extremely cold, and it can't swing wildly like it does in some other places on the solar system. I'm sure you've ran into this in your research. So, the scientists that think Earth is rare think that these needs may be common to life everywhere, and that maybe only Earth has these things. So let's take a look. We're going to look at a couple of conditions and then we'll look at more later. So, conditions that may make Earth rare. Condition number one. Well, we happen to orbit around an average sized star. And our star is very stable. Of course, I mean our sun. It is not violent. It is a long-lived star, and so life has had a chance to develop here on Earth because we have a star that is just really just right in some ways. So condition number one, Earth orbits around a stable, average-sized star. Condition number two, another condition that may make Earth rare is the fact that Earth is just the right distance from the sun. So if this is our sun, if you're at a planet that is very close to the sun, it's going to be too hot. If you're at a planet that is too far from the sun, it's going to be too cold. If you happen to live at just the right distance from the sun, it's going to be just right. And this region of space is sometimes called the habitable zone. Now, really, when we say too hot or too cold, really one of the primary things scientists are thinking about here is it would be too hot for liquid water to exist here. It would, of course, be turned into water vapor. It'd be vaporized. Out here, where we're far away, where it's too cold, the water would freeze, and so there wouldn't be liquid water that would be available. So here in the habitable zone is where it's just right. So reason number two, or condition number two, is Earth is just the right distance from the star. Now, sometimes the habitable zone is called the Goldilocks zone. And you may remember the children's story where the young girl wandered into the house from the forest and she tested the porridge of the bears. The first bowl was too hot, the next bowl was too cold, but the last bowl was just right. And that's why scientists sometimes call the habitable zone the Goldilocks zone. All right, we're going to stop there with these first two conditions for today. I look forward to talking about some more of these conditions that make Earth rare very soon. Have a good day. Goodbye.